Ooh.
A nice ooh there.
I want Celsius to know it was me.
Oh, 1. Slytherin.
Oh, sorry, I was polite. Okay. Cool. Again.
1.
Ravenclaw.
Slytherin. In fact, engaged.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay.
So the
यार क्या होता है?
focus on battery का भी her first motive as to I don't know what so please.
Okay.
Then Ravenclaw.
I wanted to say something. The means, which in this case is her great intelligence. यार
means बोलो means like use the means.
थोड़ा भी brightness increase वाली है.
हाँ मैं on this one.
How the hell?
Sure. 8 मिनट झाले होते.
Okay.
So guys, the next character is the one who killed vicious King Joffrey. It's Lady Olenna.
Olenna, I don't think it is a very difficult character to put her in.
Yeah, actually it's not so.
But I don't know if we would agree or not. But I think
we should agree because anyways.
Anyways.
it is pretty straightforward. I guess.
Yeah. So let's just reveal it on 3, 2, 1.
Ravenclaw. How the hell can you place her in? Okay.
Why did you place her in Ravenclaw? Like,
Okay, I thought it was pretty. Okay, cool.
Okay,
Let's.
I see. So there was this fine line, I guess, which you have placed on the left side of the line, whereas I had placed on the right side.
Okay, I was very far away from the line that I couldn't see the line. Friends reference. Anyways, cool. Shreyas, you go first.
Okay. So I think the one thing which we both agree on would be that Olenna is known for her smartness rather than anything else. Is that agreed on?
Of course it is agreed on. That is why I placed in that.
Exactly. But you know the reason why I placed her in Slytherin is because her smartness was always driven by a motive which was, kind of an ambitious towards her house, or kind of being resourcefulness, as in to say that her smartness was rather cunningness rather than witty. So that is what my views about Olenna is, and that's why that is the reason for which I have placed her in Slytherin, to be specific. Just to tell you that, first of all, we all know that every older person shown in the GOT universe has definitely some obligation towards making his or her own house to be the best house of all the 7 kingdoms. Even Olenna Tyrell was driven by that particular motive, where she wanted her house, which is the Tyrell house, to flourish the most out of all the 7 kingdoms, to have all the wealth and the power, of which they obviously had the wealth. So the only thing which was left for them to get is the power.
Yeah.
And since the very beginning, Olenna had always used her smartness for her cunning motives as to get her particular house to be the most powerful. And just to give you a timeline, like this is pre-GOT timeline, wherein Olenna wasn't yet married, and her first marriage prospect was a Targaryen rather than a Tyrell. And the person who she married to right now, like Luther Tyrell, was actually engaged to Viola. She was Olenna's elder sister. So the first time which she used her cunningness was to actually seduce Luther Tyrell on the day when he was going to propose Viola. So so that is what happened. So that I do agree that it was her smartness, but her smartness was used as a means to get something, to get power, and that's why I think she should be it should be considered to be cunning rather than witty, and that's why I would like to place her into Slytherin rather than Ravenclaw.
Okay, that is pretty badass. Just seducing someone before they are going to propose.
I completely understand, but
That is a very good idea. If someone, anyways,
that is what the GOT is based on.
can actually work in the real world.
Yeah.
Anyways, kidding. Go.
So the first time we see Olenna is in season 3, where she cancelled the wedding of Sansa and Joffrey and actually got her granddaughter Myron. What was her name?
Marcella.
Marcella. Yeah, yes. Sir. So to get Marcella.
Hey, Marcella is Jamie and Cersei की मुलगी. Marjorie. रे.
Marjorie.
Marcella है.
Correct.
Marjorie.
So she actually cancelled Sansa's and Joffrey's wedding and got Marjorie to wed with Joffrey instead, so that she would become the king, the queen of the Seven Kingdoms, and to assimilate power. Again,
Also,
this was based on the concept of assimilating power for her, rather than doing anything good with her intelligence and smartness.
I think this is the debate where I have gone the other way. Like I feel well, like you have thought about the motive behind using the means, whereas I have looked at her intelligence, which for me is her main quality.
Yeah.
I have not looked at what is at play behind it. So
just to give another example of the motive was, she then actually planned to wed Sansa after she cancelled after she cancelled Sansa's wedding with Joffrey. She planned to wed Sansa with her grandchild Lauren. That is basically to get control over the north, because there was no one in the north which was left. Because she was ultimately going to be the queen of the north, because all her brothers were died and Bran was crippled and the stuff happened. So basically her motives was very strong behind everything to get power for her own house. So I completely agree that there was intelligence, but the driven force which drove her intelligence into that particular way were all those motives to get power. So you cannot just cut out the motives and think of her schemes as being intelligent and being witty. Is what I feel.
That is a way to look at it. For me, it is the three characters: Varys, Littlefinger, and Olenna, and also Tyrion. We can't forget him, who are actually the most wittiest. And I think Olenna is able to hold her own in front of Varys and Tyrion also, and in front of Littlefinger also. So that is a very high level of wit to actually conform to.
That is true.
Yeah, that was also the sigil of her house is a rose, and she was always called the Queen of Thorns. And that this sarcastic name was given to her because actually of her wit, because of her wit and her sarcasm, she was called the Queen of Thorns. Also, you said that she usually used her intelligence to get a selfish motive to satisfy herself.
That's what my point was.
Yeah, to satisfy a selfish motive. But there were also instances where she used her where she used her intelligence to do good things, where she's really she's really caring about Marjorie, and that is the reason why she doesn't. That is actually a major part of the reason why she doesn't want her to wed Joffrey.
Yeah.
In fact, there is this time where Sansa is very vulnerable, and she goes to Sansa and feeds her lemon cakes and tries to get information out of her. How is Joffrey as a person?
Yeah.
That is the time where she actually decides that Joffrey is not good for Marjorie. So I think the main motive here is not the power. Yes, the power was there where she had cancelled Marjorie's wedding with Renly and got her to wed Joffrey. But I think here it is out of care. and I think that is not a very selfish motive.
But then this is very ironic thing which you are saying, that first of all you said you do not want to count the motives while counting her intelligence, and then you are getting all these good motives into picture.
No, I am trying to say
you want to kill out the bad motives and put in the good motives.
No, I want to say ki the motives have been varying, but the mean is the bigger thing. Her intelligence is what
Okay, yeah.
circumvents everything, according to me.
That is
So,
true, but then motive is the basically the driving force, and that is where I define cunningness to be, to have motives, to use the intelligence which you have to gain a particular motive rather than just to have a witty conversation. I completely do agree that her conversations were very witty, and as you mentioned, she was called the Queen of the Thorns for that particular reason, and that is very true. But that is just one aspect of the Ravenclaw overall qualities which she have. She wasn't even shown to have the qualities to learn something new, the thirst, the
Thirst for knowledge.
thirst for knowledge. She wasn't shown that. But
Okay.
her there every time it was shown that she did have one kind of the other Slytherin qualities like resourcefulness, even
Can you give an
leadership.
example of resourcefulness?
So the first example which I gave you, where she used her own body to seduce Luther, that was resourcefulness basically. She used the self motive to get something
Okay.
big.
Okay.
And then cunningness, wherein she met Sansa with Loras, and many examples, and
Okay.
even maybe leadership there, because after Luther died, she was the one who took care of the house Tyrell, maybe, but that is not the main point, so
Yeah.
I won't consider it.
Cool, then I think we'll agree to disagree on this one. And
That
we
is-
will love to know what is your view on that.
Please comment down below if you think any one of us is correct, or if you have your own views about this. So
Yeah,
we would
actually.
be happy to hear them.
Yeah.
Some of us would want to place her in Hufflepuff just for fun of it, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Because of the
with
loyalty
her-
towards her house and her love towards her
Yeah.
grandchildren, Hufflepuff do make
Yeah, it does make sense. I
sense,
think, but Slytherin, Gryffindor is to see that.
So that's it. Thank
Cool,
you.
Mayank, roll something nice.
Basically, pre-TV series time where Olenna was getting married, and the first person or the first prospective marriage of hers was a Targaryen and not Tyrell. So
Tyrell? How can she marry a Tyrell?
she is Tyrell, like Tyrell. She is Tyrell. Olenna Tyrell.
Not everybody is in incest. No.
Like Olenna Tyrell.
Oh, I understood. Oh, okay.
bro,
okay,
she
sorry, my
wasn't
bad.
a Tyrell.
Yeah,
She became a
I
Tyrell.
thought she was. Okay, cool. Okay. On the other way,
Yeah.
you are.
So the first.
यार गरम हो रहा है.
तू प्लीज थोडा फोकस कर ऍटलीस्ट 5 मिनिटासाठी माझं आणि तुझं आणि मग आपण पंखा लावू शकतो सोहम 5 मिनिट.
Sad things. I don't know what to say. Okay, sad. Cool.
So, guys, the next character is the Kingslayer, the Oathbreaker, Jaime Lannister.
Hufflepuff. Oh god. So we have an agreement over here.
Yeah, we have an agreement. I think we should just move
And
forward.
exactly, right? Just move on to the next character. But no, I do want to make justice to this particular because he has shown all the qualities which makes him into a good Hufflepuff, I guess. So that's why the reason which even you have put him there, I guess. I agree.
Yeah, with Jaime, the thing is that introduced as a villain when he actually pushes Brad and cripples him for life.
Yeah.
Introduced as a villain, I think he has by far the best character developments in the entire series.
Yeah, that is very much agreeable.
I thought I was thoda biased, but I really don't think so.
That is actually completely true, because at the start of the start of the season, as you have mentioned, that he pushed Bran off the tower and crippled him for life.
Yeah.
Going to the mid-season, he was captured by Robb Stark and his army, and therein he was released by Catelyn Stark to get her daughter in return, and in that particular the whole stretch before he reaching to King's Landing, he was shown a remorse towards what he has done, and he was actually caring for other people. And at the end of the season, he was actually pretty much converted into a good character.
Yes.
All the evil which we have seen in the very first season towards being a perfectly good character at the end of the season, choosing to fight the knights. The White Walkers, I guess. Choosing to fight the White Walkers. So that was an overall a very beautiful character development, and then it ended with the cycle completed with her beloved.
I think that is the best ending you could ever give.
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of the few things season 7 got right. Very few things. Okay, so there are these few seeds which I associate Jamie a lot with.
Okay.
One of those seeds is where he and Brienne are actually kidnapped together.
Yeah.
And his best hand is cut off.
Yeah.
And he's there, lost, grown up, big beard, crippled man. He is at his lowest point at that moment, and Brienne is naked in the bath, and Jamie joins her, and he asks her a question that if your precious Renly had asked you to do it, would you have murdered your own father and watched thousands of men, women and children be burnt alive?
Yeah.
Would you have still kept your oath then? I think this is the point when he is actually making peace with the fact that he's been called Kingslayer his entire life.
Exactly.
And just after that, when he gets freed from that kidnapping, Qyburn asks him, how many men have you saved? And that is the first time we actually see Jamie reply that 500,000, the entire population of King's Landing. Exactly. I think that is a big turnover for the character.
Yeah.
Also, there is this last line, which not the last line. There is this beautiful line which Tyrion tells him in the end that this is in the 7th season when Tyrion is speaking to Jamie, and he says, "She never fooled you. You always knew what she was, and you loved her anyway." Exactly. I think that is the definition of loyalty.
That is so true.
Yeah,
exactly.
and
I completely agree on that particular point.
And as you mentioned, justice is a quality which is always in theme with Jamie. He left the love of his life to go and fight the just war.
Yeah. So at the start of the season, all the bad characteristics which was shown to him, like pushing
Pushing the cliff of Bran.
So, like pushing Bran off the tower and crippling him, as well as being the Kingslayer to actually Ned actually at the moment Ned set eyes on him, he already had decided that Jaime Lannister has broke his oath, and therefore he's definitely not a loyal person. But like you mentioned, all these actions was driven by his desire for loyalty and justice, loyalty towards her love, as well as his justice when he saved all those millions of people in the King's Landing when the last words of the Mad Kings were burned them on. So I guess Hufflepuff is the only best house which we could have put in him. And to all the viewers out there, even I think you would agree on what the decision which we have taken.
I think we would love to hear your thoughts on that also.
Yeah, definitely. Olenna was always using her smartness in a cunning way to get that power into her house. Just to begin with, this is basically the pre-GOT time.
Okay, we do. That was really bad. We can't do that. Cool. Ah, cool. Okay. Cool. Go ahead.
So thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share and subscribe, and also comment your feedbacks and suggestions. So thank you guys.